he has borne all things well.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Harp your cries, 'tis time. 'Tis time. Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails thrown. Toad, that under cold stone days and nights has 31 sweltered venom sleeping got, boil thou first i' the charmed pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wood of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blindworm sting, lizard's leg and howlet swing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth, boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf of the ravened salt sea shark, root of hemlock, digged in the dark, liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat, and slips of you, slivered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips. Finger of birth-strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab, make the gruel thick and slab, add thereto a tiger's chaudron for the ingredients of our cauldron. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Open locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is't you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you, by that which you profess, however you come to know it, answer me to what I ask you.
Speak, demand, we'll answer.
Say if thou'dst rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call him! Let me see him.
Pour in sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 furrow. Grease that sweatin' from the murderer's gibbet, throw into the flame.
Tell me, thou unknown power!
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou naught.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth. Beware, Macduff. Beware the Thane of Fife. Dismiss me. Enough.
Whatever art, for thy good caution thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright, but one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of fate thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it. Be lion-mettled, proud, and take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That will never be! Who can impress the forest? Bid the tree unfix his earthbound root. Sweet bodements, good. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me if your art can tell so much. Shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know.
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo down. Thy crown does sear mine eyeballs and thy hair. Thou other gold-bound brow is like the first. A third is like the former filthy hags. Why do you show me this? A fourth, start eyes. What will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet. A seventh, I'll see no more. And yet the eighth appears, who bears a glass which shows me many more. Now I see 'tis true. For the blood-bolted Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for his. What? Is this so? Where are they? Gone. Let this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there!
What's your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. Oh. Who was't came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word. Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England.
Aye, my good lord.
Time, thou anticipatest my dread exploits. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand, and even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights!
to make him fly the land.
You must have patience, madam.
What? He had none. His flight was madness. Oh. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom. To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is the fear and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest coz, I pray you school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves. When we hold rumour from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea, each way and none. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at the worst will cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessing upon you.
Fathered he is, and yet he's fatherless.
I am so much a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sir, your father's dead. And what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, mother.
What with worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird. Thou wouldst never fear the net, nor lime, the pitfall, nor the gin.
Why should I, mother? Poor birds they are not set for.
Huh.
My father is not dead, for all you're saying.
Yes, he is dead. And how wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Oh, well, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
Oh, thou speaks with all thy wit, and yet, if faith, with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so.
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools. For there are liars and swearers enough to beat the honest men and hang up them.
No, God help thee, poor monkey. But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If he would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler!
Oh!
How thou talk!
Bless you, fair dame. I am not to you known, though in your state of honour I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here. Hence with your little ones! To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you were fell cruelty, which is to nigh your person. Heaven preserve you, I dare abide no longer.
Well, whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now, I am in this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable. To do good, sometime accounted dangerous folly. Well, why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? What are these faces?
Where is your husband?
Oh, I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst bind it.
He's a traitor.
No! No!
Liars!
No!
Sever! Villain!
No!
Run away, mother, I say, run! Run!
No! No!
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfallen birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland, and yelled out like syllable of dolor.
What I believe I'll wail, what no believe, and what I can redress, as I shall find the time to friend, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so, perchance. This tyrant whose sole name blisters our tongues was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry god.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. But I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance even there where I did find my doubts. Why, in that rawness, left you wife and child? Those precious motives, those strong knots of love without leave-taking. I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonours, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed. Bleed, poor country. Great tyranny, lay thou thy bases sure, for goodness dare not check thee. Wear thou thy wrongs, the title is afeard. Fare thee well, Lord. I would not be the villain that thou think'st, for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp, and the riches to boot.
Oh, be not offended. I speak not as in absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right, and here, from gracious England, have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer, more sundry ways than ever, by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice, so grafted that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
Well, I grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there's no bottom. None! In my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons and your maids, could not fill up the cistern of my lust and my desires. All continent impediments would or bear that did oppose my will. Better Macbeth than such a one to reign.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the untimely emptying of the happy throne and fall of many kings. But fear not yet to take upon you what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty, and yet seem cold the time you may so hoodwinked. We have willing dames enough.
With this, there grows, in my most ill-composed affection, such a staunchless avarice, that were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels, and this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more. That I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer-seeming lust. And it hath been the sword of our slain kings. Yet do not fear. Scotland hath foisons to fill up your will of your mere own. All these are portable with other graces weighed.
But I have none. The king becoming graces as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. No, I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting in many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell! Uproar the universal peace! Confound all unity on earth! If such a one be fit to govern, speak! I am as I have spoken!
Fit to govern? No, not to live! Ah, nation miserable! With an untitled tyrant, bloody sceptred, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again? Since that the truest issue of thy throne, by his own interdiction, stands accused and does blaspheme his breed. Thy royal father was a most sainted king, the queen that bore thee, oftener upon her knees than on her feet, died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatst upon thyself hath banished me from Scotland. Breast. Thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good, truth, and honour. Devilish Macbeth by many of these trains has sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from over-credulous haste. But God above, deal between thee and me. For even now I put myself to thy direction and unspeak mine own detraction. I here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself for strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to woman. Never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own. At no time broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking was this, upon myself. What I am, truly, is thine, and my poor country's to command. Now we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile. See who comes here.
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever-gentle cousin, welcome hither.
I know him now. Good God, betimes remove the means that makes us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. Cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing but who knows nothing is once seen to smile, where sighs and groans and shrieks that rent the air are made not marked, where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy.
Oh, relation, too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker. Each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace.
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a niggard of your speech. How goest?
When I came hither to transport the tidings, which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumour of many worthy fellows that were out, which was to my belief witnessed the rather, for that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight, to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us an army of 10,000 men.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words that would be howled out in the desert air where hearing should not latch them.
What concern then? The general cause, or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised, your wife and babes savagely slaughtered, to relate the manner whereon the quarry of these murdered deer, to add the death of you.
Merciful heaven. What man? Ne'er pull your hat upon your brows. Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
My children, too.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed, too.
I have said,
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. Oh, my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh. Hell, cow. Oh. All my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macbeth. They were all struck for thee, not for their own demerits, but for mine fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven, rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger, blunt not the heart, enrage it.
I could play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue, but gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front, bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him, if he escape. Heaven! Forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king, our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking. And the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long, that never finds the day.
when